Howdy, Master Users here, and, well, today is not a review, but, well, a video I've been meaning to get to for the last year and a half, basically. So well, not so much a review, but anyway. So you may remember when the PlayStation 5 was released, I did it, well, in preparation for PlayStation 5 being released, I did a video where I showed off at that time, my entire collection of PlayStation 2 games. Oh, and just so you know, I still don't own a PlayStation 5. Reason is because, well, the fact that, well, I guess COVID, sort of distracts things, but, I just, since a lot of games now for PlayStation, PlayStation 5, and Xbox One and Xbox Series X can be played on both platforms, not really sure if it's necessary to get one yet. Maybe in the future. But I wanted to do a video very similar to that, and now we're on to the next console / basically the first handheld I ever owned. The Nintendo DS, or in my case, the Nintendo DSi. Boy, is this and I had some good memories. However, as you know, with my video on the PlayStation 2, I got that console pretty late. And this handheld, yeah, I got it late pretty too. But, with that said, we've still got a few games to show from my days beginning this handheld to later days where, now I'm collecting stuff. So, why don't we start with how things began? What were the original games I owned for the Nintendo DSi? Well, it was Christmas 2009, and me and my brother get surprised with our very own Nintendo DSi's. I get blue, he gets black. Nowadays I wish I could have switched it, but yeah, never mind. But anyway, and among them were 4 games. 4 games. None of them involving Nintendo characters. Nah, it's okay, Mom and Dad. But why don't we show off the 4 games that we got from the beginning? And the first, I believe, that was open. Now, I should mention, we had to share these, and essentially we do share a lot of the games that we co-owned, me and my brother. But, I'm borrowing them today to show off the collection. So, and the first game that I think we opened up was Lego Indiana Jones. Yep. Lego meets LucasArts. TT Games meets LucasArts. Sorry about that. Ah, man, LucasArts. Wish Disney didn't shut you down. You had a rich history. With that said, I don't remember playing much of this. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed playing the first level of the iconic boulder chase, but to be honest, I never really was good at video games. I never got past that. So, and I never got to play the other movies. So I never got to play Last Crusade and Temple of Doom. Yeah, so I never got around to getting to those stories. But for what I had some good times with this. I do wish it could have played a lot more of it, but it's okay. I had fun with it. The next was Spyro. Yeah, Legend of Spyro, a new beginning. Now I know most people know of the console games, but I began with the DS games. And well, honestly, again, being not good at video games, I definitely remember not game far in this. I think I just got up to the ice world and then I just gave up. With that said, I didn't know at the time, this game, the CS did have cutscenes with voice acting. With varying results of the presentation, if I hadn't known actors by then, I would have been surprised to hear Elijah Wood, David Spade, and Gary Oldman appear in this, but for what it is, I had fun with Spyro. In fact, I think I had more fun with Indiana Jones going back to the level I could complete. Jeez. It's funny to think of how things went. But in terms of games where I went back to a lot, where even though I didn't get far, I seemed to enjoy a lot more of the early 4, was Carnival games. Yeah, this... I'm pretty sure a lot of people have very mixed feelings about this game, and honestly, for being a Mario Party clone or building an amusement park, honestly, until another one that's coming up, I had a lot of fun with this, really. I don't know why, I just did. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it all enough. In fact, of the first 4 games, I think I played this one the most. I think I had the most fun with it. It's been a while since I've played this, not sure when that next time will be, but, hopefully in the near future, hopefully maybe one day I'll review it. I'll give it another go. But then there's the 4th, and I can definitely say this is the one I played the least of the original 4. In fact, I can't remember the last time I even played it. And there's Mystery Case Files Millionaire. I do not remember this. I really don't. I mean, I guess you can call it trying to cash in on the success of Professor Layton. And while I have played some of the Professor Layton games, I'll get to that when I get to the reason why. Because I played quite a few DS games, but there's a reason why I'm not showing them. I'll get to that later. But yeah, this is fine enough, but I couldn't really. I didn't have much memory of it, and I just don't think I can. Not sure what to say about this. So yeah, not really too much nostalgia, but I do remember playing it, but I forget how it went. So with that, those were the original 4. And, and they wouldn't be the only 4 we had for at least another month. Because while we were in Queensland on holiday, both of us each picked out our next game. We each, and boy, have I got funny experiences. I bought my own, he bought his own, so we would switch about with him whenever we felt like it. And, well, here we are. But my game I picked was the DS version of the Simpsons game. yeah, seems pretty obvious. I mean, now I did get through the whole thing of this, and honestly, I think it's a lot easier than the console games in some respects. I mean, one of the things, although I do remember a few things I'm not a big fan of, like, there are some extra things like in it, like, okay, being a 2D game, you had to switch. Each character had their own specific moments to play in a level of it, and then when that moment was done, they would switch over. You also had the opportunity to play a virtual pet simulator, but this time with Homer. 2 of the levels were missing, being Grand Theft Scratchy and Medal of Homer, which were some of my favorite levels in the console game. So bad eye. Though I will admit, I did find the boss fight with God a lot better in this. Honestly, I just found it a lot easier, and you know what? I kind of liked it a bit more because of it. And I was able to get all the collectibles in this. I still don't know where to find that last Lisa Malibu Stacy coupon in Big Super Happy Fun game for the PlayStation 2. Me and my brother have tried everything we can think of. Though I think next time we need to start, watching a Let's Play, see where we can find it. But what it is. Yeah, this was the one I picked. My brother, on the other hand, would pick up technically his first, but we will call it our first Mario game. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Beijing 2008. I'm saying that because there's so many now. But here's an interesting story for this. We bought it at the exact same spot, which was Kmart. And the lady at the cash register, she almost gave my brother the wrong game. She was almost about to put the Olympic Winter Games Vancouver 2010 in this, until I spotted it and noticed it. Oh my god, it was funny. I saved the day on this. I remember playing this a lot, actually. However, and I do remember liking a lot of the games that didn't appear in certain other versions. Like the diving mini game was a favorite, and table tennis, and and I think another one. What was it again? Oh, 400 meters, and was great. I had fun with those events. My first Mario game and Sonic game, I had fun. It's cool. Nothing really more I can say with that. I had some fun, and Probably I think these two were the games I think that I mostly played at the DS throughout the early stages. And I think they would stay that way. So next up, what have we got here? Yeah, I think I know. So next games we both got, again, very different. I went for license, he went for Mario. My license game was Ice Age 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Yeah, this is the only Ice Age game I ever owned. Again, I don't remember much of it. I did get far in this. I didn't get. I mean, I think it was just the Sid mini games that I couldn't get past. You know. Yeah, I just couldn't get past some of those mini games. You know. Yeah, which is lucky me and Bradley shared the game, so we were able to, you know, play each and every one. So if one person can get far, the other could. But my brother, on the other hand, got Mario Kart DS, and I still stand by it. I love the original tracks in this. I remember, okay, most of them, but I love almost every one of them. They're all memorable. I love some of the tracks in this. I mean, and you know, eventually he keeps on going back to it every now and then. Eventually, did get to unlock Rob, and you know, I kind of glad that he did that so I can play as him. But yeah, I always loved the tracks in Mario Kart DS. They were some of my favorites, you know. Waluigi Pinball, Tick-Tock Clock, Airship Fortress, Luigi's Mansion, Delfino Square, DK Pass, Warrior Stadium, Peach Gardens. So many great memories on those tracks. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the layout so well of each and every one of them. The only exception, I think, being being the desert level. I remember the Angry Sun, but you know, that was really about it. Yeah, so that was this one. I would eventually, I'll get to the next part of that later, but my next game was, if the mistake was, well, yeah, Olympic Winter Games. And I honestly had a lot of fun with this. In fact, I even beat the story mode. Jeez, was that hard to do. And eventually I went back just to unlock Bowser Jr., Metal Sonic, Bowser, and Bowser Jr. Not to get their emblems, you know, just finally unlock those characters in the adventure mode. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. I mean, ice hockey was always a favourite of mine. Drink bobsledding. Especially at the time when I paired my favourite Mario characters, Luigi and Donkey Kong. That was fun. Yeah, so honestly, I really enjoyed this a lot more, so yeah, that's why, yeah. But going into that, we get to the next part. So, obviously, being a 10-year-old, you know, you don't get to own a lot of games, because you don't have much money. All you can really rely on birthday money, and here you are. I mean, no, I wasn't, and I didn't really have a job, and unless I did work at a golf range, which I'll eventually do much later in my life, I wouldn't have much money. So we found ways of emulation to play DS games. Yes, the emulators. You know, and honestly, I don't care too much. I was able to play some pretty good DS games, so like Super Mario 64 DS. I had New Super Mario Brothers. I had Bowser's Inside Story, Partners in Time. I think I had Metroid Prime Pinball on emulation, some of the Nickelodeon games. Yeah, Sonic Rush Adventure, yeah, that was on there. Yeah, there's some good ones I had. Yeah, so including my own version of emulated version of Mario Kart DS. Yeah, but you know, that's emulation, they're not physically owned. So yeah. Through DSiWare, we would also own games as well. I mean, the ones I had, because I'm not going to go over the ones my brother had, I had some of the Mario vs. Donkey Kong game on there. I had some of the Mario time apps like Calculator and Clock. Photo Dojo, that's one of my favorites. I just love Photo Dojo a lot. And there was also, in fact, I might even get it on DSiWare for 3DS before server shut down next year. And little bit of Dr. Mario, which I'm just going to say is my least favorite Mario game out there. Just saying, I do not like that. Oh, it was a waste of points, and my brother apologizes for me for having to get that for him on my copy, because, oh my god, yeah. But, moving on, in terms of physical copy games, the next one I can recall, which he bought, was The Sims 2. Yeah, this is, and yes, it's a M for mature. I know, he probably had dad buy it for him because of that, but he got it. I remember there was the bar that had an actual Space Invaders arcade machine that you can play. And I remember playing that a lot when I would ask to jump in and play it. A lot of fun. Had fun. It's great. Yeah, not much to say about that. And then he would later get Theme Park, which I think was a lot better than carnival games, because there's a lot more things to do, because you build your own theme park and that. I always like the Taipan slide. I just love that. So every time he would build it, I would always watch it and see what he does. So yeah, I had fun with this. Well, in this case, I never played it, I just liked watching it, but I did play a few on his DS, but it still works out. It was fine. I had fun. Next two. Here we go. So, next one, but the next one I owned was NRL Mascot Mania. Yeah. This is a game, I think, I recall this one very well. 2009, saw it at my local Kmart, obviously jumped in, played it, picked Nitro because I support the Newcastle Knights. I had fun, I was playing the story mode, but eventually I just gave up because I just wanted to. Because I guess I just wanted to keep on going for the emulator games. But I eventually came back and got a little further. But I've stopped since then. Again, I should jump back into these games and see if they're as hard as I remember them. Probably aren't, but I do remember playing this a fair bit. But yeah, again, it is a bit. Like some of the designs of some levels. Don't remember the mini games though. I remember collecting a few of the cards in it, but I don't know. Strange. I remember playing it, but I don't remember much of it. Yeah. Strange. And then my brother would then get Rayman Raving Rabbids TV Party. And yeah, I remember this. In fact, I think this, even though this game in particular stopped pretty much like was the last of Rayman's appearances, this probably shows him the least, because all I can remember seeing is maybe him being in the menu, but even not even in the. Don't remember seeing any cutscenes that he was in, or maybe a few mini games, but this is basically the Rabbids' major push to overtaking him. I do know that Rayman 1 was released on DSiWare, so, another thing I might add to my 3DS before, again, server shut down. But, yeah, I remember this, but I remember playing a bit of it, but, again, not much. So I guess this has been a bit of a drag on, and I should mention, by this point after those games, that's where I stopped with these, because at that point the 3DS came into my life. I'll get to that when I get to that retrospective of my collection of my games. But I never really bought any more. In fact, maybe I bought a few, but some of these games I just show, like maybe Mascot Mania. Actually, no, maybe not Mascot Mania, but Rayman Raving Rabbids. We probably bought in that time because 3DS games were new on the market, so pretty dear. So yeah. But eventually, we started collecting a few games as we've gotten older. Well, whatever we see that we're interested in, or we get them as a gift. And I think, if I'm correct, the first one. Now, this is the last one my brother's ever bought. Warioware DIY. Now, this is one we did emulate, but eventually my brother thought, might as well own it myself so I can play on the 3DS. And, And I think he still goes back to it every now and then. He just loves Warioware DIY. I love it too, but I kind of prefer Warioware Touched more, just because I got that. I didn't have to make a lot of things. I'm not a big creator. I mean, I did some, but I was never really into that. But yeah, he loves this game, and I have memories of it, playing some of the original stuff, and and I think I remember loving the secret way if you create a game called Mario Paint, you actually hear the Mario Paint tune, so that was fun. Yeah, that's the last one he got, but eventually I would get a few. And the first one, I got was Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. And I've played this game a lot, as you know, when I did that video why I think the story isn't that good. Boy, I think I've played this. When I first got it, I think I played about 11 times straight, game through everything, just so I can unlock the final chapter, which I eventually did. Yeah, I can tell this isn't a great RPG, but I will admit some of the ideas are still unique. And I will admit, as much as I don't like the soundtrack like a lot of people, Blue Ridge Zone actually, I don't know, I think that's about the only tune I can actually say is not that ear-grating, I don't find it bad-ish. I don't know, I kind of like Blue Ridge Zone's music, I don't know why. A guilty pleasure, basically, but yeah, I don't own the original cover. But at least I got the game inside right here, so yeah. The next game I would collect, now, among all the emulated games I ever did emulate, there were a few that just wouldn't obviously work well, or it would take a while. But one that I just knew, which I'm just not happy that I couldn't get to work, was THQ's Drawn to Life SpongeBob SquarePants edition. So eventually, when I saw this at CEX, or CEX is what I call it, which is a old video game DVD Blu-ray store, I just was like, you know what? Well, old technology store, I should say. I just saw it and I'm like, you know what? I gotta play it. I gotta actually get it, a physical copy, so I can actually get further in and not have a crash. And so yeah, I bought this. And I got a lot further than I thought. You know what? It's not as bad. It's not bad. It's not perfect, but at least I finally got to play it without being bugged. I should mention one of the emulator games I do remember playing a lot is SpongeBob SquarePants featuring Nicktoons Globs of Doom. The DS version, which I honestly think is a better story, just because of the ending not going in the way you expect. I mean, essentially you got the Nicktoons heroes teaming up with the Nicktoons villains in this. Yeah, you can guess where the console game goes compared to this, but yeah. Yeah, so that was Drawn to Life. Now the last few ones, I've got a similar story with the 3DS, which came first, but while I was in between jobs, and the year I began making YouTube videos, a friend of mine came forward and asked if I wanted to have his remaining Nintendo DS Lite and his remaining games he had. And I said, well, yeah, why not? I'll do it. So he gave me a DS Lite, which means I guess I can actually buy Game Boy Advance games and play it on there, but I haven't really done that. And a couple and the remaining games he has. Now, they're not in covers, but I guess it's time I start off with them. So I'll start off with the ones that are wrapped in plastic. But I will admit I've never played a lot of them. I guess the first one, the one that's actually made by Nintendo, Nintendo's Lab and Friends. I don't know. I've never really been interested in Nintendogs. I know it was popular, but it never really grabbed me. And I think the reason is when Nintendogs plus Cats got reviewed on Good Games Spawn Point, when the 3DS was first released, I just clocked off on it, like, no. But yeah, at least I own one. Next up. Again, these next two games I've never played, so I don't know much about them, but Chronos Twin. I don't know what this is about, but he gave me this, and intriguing, but I've never played it, so I can't really say anything about that. Now this is strange, and the same thing with this EA game. It's Need for Speed Carbon Over City. So yeah, have that. Sorry if I'm sounding very down. Can't say much about these games, but you know, I've never played them, so I just have them. And that's the same for this strange thing. This is an EB Games thing called Combat of Giant Dinosaurs. I don't know what this is, so I can't say much about it, but I got it on a cartridge, so the fact it was owned by it's an EB Games thing kind of makes it unique. No, sorry. But yeah, I own this. But the last two I definitely have played. So, and among the emulated games is where I began my start on Pokemon. Being Gen 4, being Sinnoh, and Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So, I played a lot of Platinum, and really, and I still go back to my emulated copy every now and then, especially as I found it on an emulated DS cartridge, so, yeah. But, sorry. Anyway. But through my friend, he gave me Pokemon White version and White version 2. Now, I did often, when White 1 came out, I remember the commercials very well, especially the whole Victini stuff. And had I actually got this, I would have tried to do it, but, you know, considering online, you know, probably wouldn't have been able to work it out. And White version 2, I remember the Genesect stuff. Out of all of them at the moment, I think I remember enjoying playing White version 2 a lot more. Because what I did was I got through White version, and I think I at least got to where Cynthia often stays in the game, but then I jumped straight into White version 2, and I think I enjoyed that one a lot more, just because I could get more of the Pokemon I know, compared to having to stick with the original Pokemon, because that's what Black and White did was Black and White 1 did was that you had to you wouldn't get to unlock the Pokemon that you know from other regions till much later, so you had to stick with the Pokemon central to that region. And that was a thing that carried over to the anime, and I won't lie, I don't like the Best Wishes anime series for Pokemon. I just don't. But, you know, when I got to White version 2 and I can unlock Pokemon that I know and love much quicker, like say Lucario, I just like that better. I think another reason, I mean, White 1, I did some research and I found out how before you face the first gym, depending on what star you pick is what version of the Pan Pokemon you get to help you beat Chili Crescent Silent. So what I did was I picked Oshawott as my starter, and so I can get Pansy as my Pokemon. And I have a thing where certain fire starters I don't fire Pokemon I don't actually evolve because I like their first stage a lot more compared to the original. I don't know, it's just me, but yeah. So that way I could get Pansy because I kind of like Pansy a lot more. But yeah, I jumped into White when I finished White, played White 2, had a better time. So yeah, there you go. Oh boy. Jesus, was that a video? So yeah, that's my DS collection. I guess, again, you know, not as big as my PlayStation collection, but I do have a lot of stories with them. Even the games I never really played, or haven't played at all, I've got stories centered around it. But yet again, you know, that's fun, you know. I mean, I've got a few games here and there. But again, as I said, I came in late with the DS. The 3DS came a year and a half, basically a year and 3 months later. A year and a quarter, basically. And that was that was what I remember most. Because what happened with my DSi was the right trigger button ended up not working. So that's why I ended up getting a 3DS, because, you know, of that problem. Yeah, so, and that helped, you know. But, you know, with that said, that was my entire Nintendo DS game collection. Who knows, maybe I might grab some to add to the collection later. I mean, maybe if I ever see some Castlevania games, some of the Pokemon, some physical copy Pokemon games, and you know, maybe one of the Kingdom Hearts games on it. I might add that, but you know, not sure really if there'll be anything else. Maybe I might also see if I can get the actual cover for Sonic Chronicles. Nah, boy. Oh boy, oh me. Anyway, but with that said, that's the video, and well, the next time I do a video like this will be for the Nintendo Wii. And boy, have I got a lot of games to get through with that. Oh boy. But next up will be another review. In terms of movies coming out, I will say the next video I will review I will do in terms of cinemas will be Sonic the Hedgehog 2. In terms of games, I've actually got a few I might want to review actually as of late. But you know, and if I find out something else I want to review in the meantime, I'll just jump in and do that. Who knows, maybe I might even do a TV series. And Moon Knight's another thing I will review. Potentially I could also review The Bad Guys, but I'm not sure. I just want to see how critics go with that first. I am not reviewing Turning Red, however. I just don't have any interest. But in the meantime, this is Hazard from Hazard Reviews out, and I'll see you for my next video. Ciao.